Within a few verses of Matthew 16, Peter goes from being the rock upon which I will build my church to a stumbling block. The kind of rock you trip over on your way to getting to where you're going. It was clear that Peter and Jesus had different visions of what it meant to be the Christ, the Son of God. Peter thought that he was on the road to glory, with the establishment of the kingdom of heaven just around the corner. Power and position, these were coming his way. So he would have a lot of packing to do as he prepared for his journey with Jesus into the future that awaited him. But as you might imagine, he would be packing things that he didn't need and wouldn't use. As we get ready for our journey, next chapter or bust, I suspect that, like Peter, we will pack some things that will function more like stumbling blocks, weighing us down like bricks in a suitcase. What are some of the bricks that we have packed, that we might have to unpack so that we can get going in the right direction? Well, let's open up our suitcase and find out. Just got to turn it around for us. Get it here in the right position. Open up the zipper. And here we go. Wounds. Ghosts. The word ghosts, well, it refers to the ghosts of pastors past. When a congregation has been blessed to enjoy a wonderfully successful trio of tenures that last 37 years, well, it's very common that we'd be looking for a pastor that's just like the pastors we had. Patterns of ministry and pastoral presence, they become so established that none of us is even aware that we are measuring the future by models of the past. So if we're going to make room for the new pastor, we're going to need to leave the ghosts behind and focus entirely on the next chapter that God is preparing us to pursue. The word wounds, well, it refers to difficult moments, trying times we've endured. This long chapter in Trinity's life came to an end rather abruptly with two sudden retirements. And these two longtime friends and fellow servants, well, they're still very much in our midst because of the ties that bind our hearts and lives in love. So we carry these wounds along with us, along with the gratitude we feel for decades of joy and friendship. Still, it's important not to cover over the wounds too quickly. If we try to cover them up before they're healed, well, we'll just have to revisit them later, perhaps with added complications. Infection spreads, or wounds deepen, and the healing process is lengthened. So let's make sure we talk about these wounds and ghosts now, before moving on to our next chapter. Wounds that don't heal are like flies or bugs that get caught to the adhesive on the wall we're trying to wallpaper over. This used to be a bigger problem before air conditioning, when screen doors and open windows let more flies into the house on a regular basis. Still, many of us know what results from wallpapering over pesky flies or any number of creepy crawling bugs that get caught under the wallpaper. Sooner or later, they rot, and their decomposition leads to soft spots in the wallpaper that ruin its finish. So before moving on to our next chapter, let's make sure that we spend enough time on ghosts and wounds so that we won't need to spend time later revisiting what were past strengths but could become future soft spots in the next chapter we're hoping to enjoy. Our hope is that by going slow now, we'll be able to move forward faster later. And we'll be ready and waiting for the challenges and blessings that God has in store for us with our next chapter in ministry.